Welcome, friends of Japanese art prints. My name is Dieter and I'm the owner of a little family company and we sell Japanese art prints. And in today's video, I want to present to you this wonderful Japanese woodblock print by Hasui Kawase. The title is Ukishima at Yanaginawa. It shows a peaceful landscape scenery. Was created in 1936. The publisher is Watanabe Shotsaburo, the famous mentor and promoter of the Shinhanga art movement. And the provenance, that means, okay, where does this print come from? Who consigned it to us? It is Robert O. Muller, the Robert O. Muller estate, famous collector and dealer. And in this video, I want to show you how you can identify it and how you can recognize it, that it is a lifetime edition. Then I want to talk a little bit about the artist and how this print was produced, and a little bit about the value of the print. Value is always important for you, of course. And at the end, I show you where you can find this information of this video on our website, www.artelino.com. I promised you at the beginning, I will show you how you can identify this print. Okay, now let's try it. Let's see how it will work. Okay, here in the image section, here you have the signature of Hasui Kawase, and below the red seal, also Hasui Kawase. Here on the right margin, that is the Watanabe copyright seal. And here there are a lot of strange Japanese characters on the left margin. Let's try it. Might become a little bit more difficult now. Okay. There on top you have the title Ukishima. Also below that is another part of the title, Yanaginawa. Ukishima at Yanaginawa. And below that, Ibaraki Ken. Ken is the Japanese word for prefecture. So that is the title, Ukishima at Yanaginawa, at the Ibaraki Ken prefecture. And then on bottom, finally, we have the date, and the date of the first publishing, which was December 1936. Of course, that down here, that is the Japanese calendar, but the Western calendar, it's December 1936, okay? Hasui Kawase is certainly the best known and the most popular artist of the so-called Shinhanga art movement. He collaborated closely with Watanabe Shotsaburo, the famous publisher in Tokyo, and the artist, Hasui Kawase, designed more than 600 print designs during his lifetime. And from a letter he once wrote, we know that he considered himself the only artist who could make a living only with printmaking. This is a fact little known. Most of the Shinhanga artists were primarily painters and not printmakers. For Hasui Kawase it was different. He never painted. A question, did printmaking make him wealthy? Not really, no, not at all. And in his private life, he was not very fortunate. His house was destroyed 2 times. The first time in 1923 as a result of the Great Kanto earthquake. And the second time it was during World War II when Tokyo was flattened by the bombers of the US fleet. After World War II, however, his also financial situation improved considerably in general for printmakers and publishers of the Shinhanga art movement, because there was now suddenly a new clientele, and these were the members of the US occupation force. And in the 1950s, Hasui Kawase was very well known, and in 1956 he was declared by the Japanese government a living national treasure. How were these wonderful prints by Hasui Kawase, how were they created, how were they produced? Well, the artist, he traveled directly to the spots. He didn't take that from photographs, and he made sketches or watercolor drawings. Today's artists who work in this technique of woodblock prints, they must do the carving themselves, they do the printing themselves for commercial reasons. Hasui Kawase never carved, he never printed, but he made these sketches, and then they were transformed. When he came back to Tokyo, they were transformed by skilled artisans, by carvers, by printers who were employed by the publisher. However, we must imagine that the artist Hasui Kawase accompanied the complete process and made his corrections when necessary. And also an interesting information that we know from one of the letters by the artist. He once wrote that sometimes the woodblock print, the final print, looks better than his sketches, and sometimes it was the other way around. We're coming now to an end of this little presentation of this wonderful, beautiful, fantastic Japanese woodblock print by Hasui Kawase. But before I turn the light out, I want to show to you where you can find all this information and a little bit more on our website, www.artelino.com. We have a wonderful website. Okay. Here, there we have a section that we call education. And that has a lot of contents, my friends. And there one is articles, and there you find this information. Hasui Kawase, Ukishima at Yanaginawa, Shinhanga landscape print. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you for our next video. Goodbye.